should expect or anticipate a bearish move on the EU, GU, NZD, USD, AUD, USD, and so on. So, like I said, if currently on the weekly time frame on dollar index, we are still bullish. This was just a retracement back to the breakout of this zone that we have here. So this is a pullback on the weekly time frame. Now dropping down to the daily, we have a gap here that it's not really clear. So we need more price action to be formed at this point. We need more price action to be formed at this point, but we are currently reacting to a demand zone here on the 4 hours. Sorry, on the daily time frame. These are not mitigated weak on the daily. Then if we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that it's another block that wasn't mitigated. So we anticipate that push to the upside. It's already buying. So let's just see what the New York session is going to do. If it gives us more confirmation, that's to say the EU, GU, and other pairs will be selling. So now let's look at EU. All right. So on the EU, same thing is going on here on Euro USD. Now we have this. We had like 2 weeks of bearish. This last week we were bearish. This other week, this old weekly, we were all bearish except this week, or last week that just had a retracement. And if you can see, we just took a previous week high from this point, and price is mitigating a non-mitigated week. This should be a supply zone, or a supply zone on 4 hours. So if you are going to go down, you are going to be seeing if we have any supply zone that price is reacting at this point. Because if you check here, you can call this a BMS, or last break of structure, to the downside. So this pullback is the retracement. So going down to the daily, this is also a supply unmitigated week on field week. So that's an on-field week. So now we expect price has already tapped in. Then dropping down to 4 hours. Let's all right. So now this is the 4 hour. That's the supply zone that is responsible for this break of structure, and price has pulled back to mitigate it. So now it has already given us a sell confirmation, but we are going to be waiting for a New York session open. That's New York kill zone, and see what price will do. If price will pull back to mitigate this up close candle here, then we might likely see more bearish move to the downside. Then our target will be to clear this low. Our target will be to clear this low, and possibly clear this. But our first target will be here, because although we are still bearish, we anticipate price to clear this low. Once we clear this low, we wait for more confirmation and we drive down. That will drive price to clear the external low here. So that's for Euro USD. So let's move to GBP USD and see what we have on GBP USD. All right, on GU, the move I've already started. I think the move even started yesterday. So now looking at GBP USD on the weekly time frame, we have, you can see the direction is extremely bearish. The structure here is also bearish. So I anticipate that this low should be taken out. All these lows should be taken out. There are all sell side liquidity that need to be taken out. So as you can see here, price just pulled back on the weekly time frame, feeling this imbalance here. And in that process, it has taken out a previous week high here. So it has taken a previous week high here. So dropping down to the daily time frame, we don't have any much thing there. This is the previous week high that has been taken out. Let's drop down to 4 hours and see if we can have a refined entry. All right. So on 4 hours, you can see that this is a supply that price just reacted to. That's supply price reacted to. So, and already confirmation has been given for the short. So we just need more price delivery to the downside. If price should pull back to this point, then we anticipate more sales. Anticipate things like this to clear this low, because we may have a reaction here before it cleared the low, but we are still bearish. So our direction for this week is bearish. So if you are going into the chart, just be looking for a bearish confirmation to short to clear the sell side liquidity. Once the sell side liquidity has been taken out, then you anticipate a buy, but let your bias come from the higher time frame. Don't always trade based on the lower time frame confirmation of direction, because the lower time frame direction confirmation should be based on the higher time frame direction. But if the lower time frame confirmation direction is not based on the higher time frame direction, it will not play out. It may go for maybe, let's say, small move, but the overall trend, which is coming from the weekly, will always supersede it. So that is what we'll be anticipating for the dollar index and GBP and euro. All right, so let's just look at gold a little bit before we ask some few questions. All right, on gold, I think we had a buy on gold here yesterday and it hit TP. So currently gold is still bullish. Going to the weekly time frame, gold is still very, very bullish. So I want to see if you are going to be bearish, then we need to clear this buy side. Rate has been cleared, and also this buy side liquidity here. So let's just watch out for gold, because gold is still bullish. Gold is still bullish. If you are to trade gold, you wait for a pullback after today candle closure, wait for a pullback to mitigate and continue the buy move. So we'll have something like this, then continue. So you'll be waiting for your confirmation on this level. But if the level doesn't hold, then it fails, then you anticipate gold to move back, maybe to fill this imbalance that we have here on the daily time frame, and anticipate more bearish move. So it's just to watch out and see how the candle close on each day to also confirm the direction of that weekly time frame. So use your weekly to set your direction and use your daily to follow up that direction. If the daily doesn't align and the 4-hour doesn't align on that weekly direction, then definitely that trade is not valid. But once the 3 time frames are aligning, then that will be a nice trade for you to take. So for that note, just be watching out for price and look for a good confirmation entry during the New York session or Q zone, and check. If you have any question, hello, can you hear me? Anyone with a question? I'm entertaining few questions. Who have any question here?
Yes, please.
Okay, you can ask.
Okay. For the gold analysis, you said something about the three time frames aligning. Please, can you say that again?
All right. Okay, like I said, if you watch out, let's go back to the weekly time frame. Let's break it down together. I think this is a cheat code for you guys. Once you go back, just go and study it. It will help a lot. You use it for direction. So gold is already bullish. Like this was I think, let me start from here. This is the last this is an old weekly high. If I should keep my horizontal or vertical line there, then okay, my horizontal line there, and I drop down to the daily time frame. Look at how we have a strong bullish closure on this gold. So dropping down to the daily time frame, this is the weekly time frame. Dropping down to the daily time frame, you discover that at that point, that was a daily order block, which is this red candle, these two down close candle that we have here. Then going down to the 4 hours, that is, if I want to refine it, going down to the 4 hour, on that daily order block, I have a 4 hour unmitigated order block, which is here. So that's my POI. That's my point of interest. I'll be waiting for price to come back and I get a confirmation to buy. So now, knowing that already weekly is bullish because of that momentum candle we saw on the weekly time frame. So now what I will be doing now is I'll wait for price to do the pullback. I won't trade, wait for price to do the pullback. Now, price is on the 4 hours demand and the the daily order block also. And we have a confirmation here, a breakout structure, and price did what? Pullback and mitigating continue. So at this point in time, this is the 4 hour aligning with that weekly direction. So it therefore means that we are going to take our buy and place our stop loss below and allow it to run. So imagine you cut this move here and you hold it to the next. That is, you are catching the weekly expansion. That's what it means. That was the same thing that happened here. We pull back to the other block. 4 hours bearish. I think that was on Friday. Okay, Thursday. This is Thursday, and Friday was bearish last week. They did a pullback to the other block here that we have on 4 hours. Knowing that your weekly is still bullish, you can't go against the weekly trend. Once your directional bias, which is the weekly, is bullish and you are selling, that's to say you are going against the main direction. But once your weekly is bullish and the daily is bearish, all you have to do is to wait for the daily to finish the bearish move, or you can still join the daily bearish move back to the point of interest on the daily that will continue the weekly move. Then you wait for a confirmation. So like this was the confirmation that we had. That was yesterday. So I was on this buy, then we took the buy and we got the TP here, or hit that TP here. So currently gold is still bullish until we see a change in direction, and it's still the same weekly time frame that will show us okay if we are changing direction or not. So I basically use weekly for my direction, then I allow the daily and 4 hour to align in that direction, or in the direction of the weekly time frame. If they don't align and you start taking a trade, you might be going against the main trend, because it's the weekly that is the higher time frame. Let's say if we want to swing now. So that's how we use the weekly time frame down to the 4 hour time frame. I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
All right. So do you have any other question? Do you have any other question? Okay, who else have a question? So we can call it a close for today. Do you have any other